What do you suggest in Boston? Zoli helped coin the term Bigfoot. Has a ball and an arch. We push off closer with our metatarsals, closer to the front of the foot.
In this world, but you've probably never seen a picture of a dinosaur captured on camera, because back then cameras hadn't even been invented.
Join up.
Humans around in that era. When the camera was invented in the 1800s, animal documentation changed drastically.
Everybody join up.
I'm going to show you those ever taken of 28 extinct animals. Number 28. Passenger pigeon. Imagine looking up and seeing the sky go dark, not because of clouds, but because of birds. Passenger pigeons once filled the skies of North America in huge numbers. A single flock could take hours to pass. There were billions of them, but this flood of wings didn't last. European settlers cut down the forests where the pigeons lived, so survival became harder. Therefore, when people learned these birds were an easy, endless source of meat, hunting became ruthless. Passenger pigeons became food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Their numbers dropped fast. What once seemed endless was gone in just a few decades. By 1914, only one was left, a female named Martha. She lived at the Cincinnati Zoo. When Martha died, so did her kind. Passenger pigeons were more than birds. They were like a living flood that shaped nature itself. But careless human actions erased them forever. Number 27, Caribbean monk seal. The Caribbean monk seal was the only seal native to the Gulf of Mexico. Long ago, it was seals came in groups of about 30, sometimes over 100 crowded together. They ate fish and crustaceans. On land, they moved slowly but didn't fear people, often approaching out of curiosity. That curiosity became their weakness. Hunters found them easy targets. Overhunting their prey made food scarce, therefore weakening the seals further. People wanted their blubber because it could be turned into oil, but they also hunted them for meat. Therefore, by the 1850s, the Caribbean monk seal had already become rare. In 1886, a survey found many seals near small islands, but scientists killed 42 just to send specimens to museums. Today, only 2 of those specimens remain, both in the UK. One of the last photos shows 4 monk seals at the New York Aquarium. In 1952, a final confirmed sighting happened off Colombia's coast. Since then, no one has ever seen a Caribbean monk seal again. Number 26, golden toad. First, don't mistake golden toads for frogs. They're both amphibians, but very different creatures. These small, bright orange toads lived in just one tiny patch of rainforest high in Costa Rica. Many golden toads inactive. Just 1 year later, only about 10 or 11 were left. Therefore, by 1989, all were gone except for a single lonely male. After that, despite years of searching, not a single golden toad was ever seen again. In 2004, they were officially declared extinct. So what happened? 2 forces them at once. A severe drought struck their rainforest home, but something worse.
Where's Rusty?
Deadly disease thickened their skin.
No, Rusty fell off, bro. Rusty fell off.
Amphibians rely on their skin to absorb oxygen. It was a silent killer. Even today, chytrid fungus still threatens amphibians around the world. The picture you're seeing shows one of the final healthy gatherings of golden toads, a snapshot of life just before it disappeared forever. Number 25, Carolina parakeet. This was one of the most striking birds ever to live in North America. It wasn't just colorful, it was the only native parrot on the continent's plains, even wandering into southern Canada at times. These birds were once everywhere. They traveled in noisy, playful flocks that filled the forests of southeastern United States. But what they ate made them unusual. Cocklebur seeds. These seeds are poisonous, so after eating them, the parakeets themselves became toxic. Any predator, even a hungry house cat, could die just from eating one. But this natural defense didn't protect them from humans. In the early 1900s, people in the U.S. fell in love with fashion made from animal feathers. A particular hat decorated with parakeet feathers became wildly popular. Therefore, hunters began targeting them in large numbers. Their feathers flooded markets. Farmers saw them as pests. These bright parrots, they had almost completely disappeared. How could millions vanish so fast?
I better get them.
In the same cage as Martha, the last passenger pigeon, Incas died in 1918. Only 4 years after Martha, one bright bird, once everywhere, gone forever. Number 24.
This kid is so dumb for doing that burger.
Stripes covered only the front half of its body, but faded into soft brown on the back. Its belly and legs, pure white. This wasn't just any zebra. The quagga was a unique subspecies, living only in southern Africa's dry grasslands and scrublands. But peace between the Dutch and British in the 1800s didn't mean peace for the quagga. Therefore, settlers believed these animals they were wrong. Hunting exploded. By 1878, just one quagga remained in captivity, a lonely female at the Amsterdam Zoo. When she died in 1883, no one panicked. The zoo simply requested another quagga be captured. But the truth was far darker. The last wild quagga had disappeared 5 years earlier. Without warning, this odd zebra slipped into extinction, while the world barely noticed. Today, scientists are working to bring the quagga back, but back then, it was gone forever. Number 23, Barbary lion. It once ruled the Atlas Mountains of North Africa. Unlike today's African lions, which have manes only around their heads, Barbary lions had dark, thick manes that stretched from head to toe. Their thick fur wasn't just for show, it helped them survive stormy
I'll
weather. But
be
their
right back,
appearance wasn't what made
guys.
them
Hold up.
legendary. For thousands of years, these lions lived near some of history's most powerful civilizations. They fought in Roman arenas. They inspired the fierce Egyptian goddess Set. Therefore, it's no surprise that humans feared them deeply. Killing a Barbary lion wasn't just hunting, it was a symbol of strength and bravery. So people hunted them fast, chasing glory while driving this subspecies closer to extinction. By the 20th century, the Barbary lion was almost gone. The spread of firearms and government bounties sealed their fate. The last known lion was shot in the 1960s. But here's where it gets interesting. In 1942, 2 years after the species was officially declared extinct, a French military photographer named Marcelin Flood spotted a lone Barbary lion from a helicopter over the Atlas Mountains. He quickly raised his camera and captured what many believe is the final photo of this majestic beast. The image remains haunting and beautiful, a symbol of what we lost. Yet the story doesn't end there. Recent genetic research revealed that Barbary lions aren't truly gone. They belong to a single family line that stretches across North Africa, the Middle East, Southern Europe, and Asia. And today, a small population of their close relatives, Asiatic lions, still survives.
I'm back, y'all.
Number 22.
Okay, hold up.
Tasmanian tiger. Tasmanian tigers were more than all. It was a carnivorous marsupial, native to Tasmania and single female remained. She spent her final days in Colombia, dying on September 7th, 1936. The haunting final photo of this exhausted animal captured before her death is all we have left, a chilling reminder of how fast humans can wipe out an entire. Number 21, Zanzibar leopard. It was once a small but fierce predator living on the island of Zanzibar in Tanzania. Its pale coat helped it disappear into the island's dry, dusty landscape. It wasn't as large as modern leopards, but it was fast, smart, and deadly, capable of hunting pigs and eating birds. In 1960, the Tanzanian government saw these leopards as a danger to people, so a campaign was launched to wipe them out. Fear spread, bullets followed, and the population collapsed. In the 20th century, the species was declared extinct. Their last confirmed sighting came in 1990. The few photos that remain might be the final proof they ever existed. But in 2003, a National Geographic team claimed to have captured one on film. Locals were thrilled, but scientists never confirmed the footage. So were they truly gone, or hiding somewhere in the shadows of Zanzibar's forests? Number 20. Baiji River Dolphin. Once known as the goddess of Yangtze, the Baiji dolphin was a symbol of China's longest river. For 20 million years, it lived only in the Yangtze, using sonar.
How many live stinks does
navigating
this guy
muddy
need?
water. But the same river that gave it life became the reason it disappeared. In the
Oh, Mama, it's a
1950s,
diamond
thousands
burger.
of Baiji swam through the Yangtze.
Woohoo!
In the 1980s,
One more
only a
thing.
few hundred remained. 2 decades later, barely any were left. Pollution, overfishing, and heavy ship traffic turned the river
What would
into
I
a
do
death trap. The
for
Baiji
both
lost
my
food, collided with
Halloween
boats, and grew sick from
Walkowini?
poisoned water. The building of the Three Gorges Dam destroyed its last safe habitats. By the early 2000s, the river that
Gold
once echoed with
Garama?
dolphin calls
Gold
had fallen
Garama,
silent.
looky.
Scientists
Oh my
tried
God.
everything. They built safe zones and even caught a few dolphins to protect them, but most died soon after. One survivor, a male named Chi, lived in captivity for 22 years. When he died in 2002, many feared he might be the last. In 2006, a massive expedition searched the entire Yangtze with sonar and ships. After 39 days, they found